What's up, everybody? It's Draymond Green. Make sure you subscribe to the Volumes YouTube channel below so you don't miss any more of this great content going forward. Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies Game 6. Man, let me tell you something. That game, as you can see, we went up 10, they cut it to 2. We went up 10, they cut it to 1. We went up 10, they go up 1. As I tweeted this a while back, that Memphis Grizzlies team, those young guys are unfazed. They're unbothered by anything. And that's such a great trait to have when you're trying to make runs. They were never fazed by our runs. We get down to the 6-minute mark, they may have been up 2, or it was a tie ball game right in there. And that's when we started to make our run. We started to pull away. But that team has a bright future, has a very bright future. Now, what that team has to fight against is now they're going to be expected to do more, right? So you go to the second round, tough matchup with us. They're going to be expected to do more. Accolades come in. All of those things, egos get bigger, as guys get older, as they solidify themselves more. And so that team has to keep all of that together. I know everyone's out there saying, oh, the money and this. It's the things that go on within your team that matters much more than money. It's the culture. And they have it. They have a good culture. Those young guys, they rock with each other. They dance. They do all the stuff. But again, as you get older, you don't dance as much, and you don't celebrate as much or party together as much or whatever they may do. That's when all of those things matter more and more and more, and then obviously reaching new levels of success. But as I said in my press conference the other day, with all the chippiness in the series and the injuries, the eye knock, the gritty when the shot goes up, he fouled him, he hurt him, whoop that trick, like all of the stuff that went on in the series. As you're going through that, I'm just like, I can't wait to finish this series off and just like shut these dudes up and like gritty on the court. And those are just the thoughts you're thinking as you're going through it. And then I got to the end of it and I'm like, man, that was so hard. It was so hard. I have nothing but respect for those young guys. Nothing but respect. The way they fought, the way they competed from the beginning of the series to the end, they made us a much better team. I don't take that for granted at all. You really have to give those guys their credit. And for me, I saw even after Dylan Brooks, like, oh, they're getting old. Like, y'all said that last year. All right, cool. I thought Steph killed him with him. Well, he said he was a dynasty. Like, stop. And of course, stop. Like, I think what that team will learn as they continue to grow is how to win. There were some things that went on in that series that just shows me that they're still young, and as they get older, they'll learn how to win. They'll learn just different things about winning games down the stretch and how to pull out these tight games in those situations. They'll continue to learn that as you get more experience. And that's when you always hear a team say, like, but that team knows how to win. And so, I know there are some things that they'll continue to get better at and they'll continue to grow, game plan, discipline stuff, just different things that you learn. I don't want to say you learn by losing, but you learn going through the process. And normally when you have to learn going through the process, you do lose. And so it's not necessarily that you learn from losing. You just learn by going through that actual process. And so I think, the next time we face those guys, they'll know more. I don't necessarily say that they're going to beat us, but they'll know more and it'll get tougher and it'll get tougher. And then one day maybe they will, because who's ever the king of the parking lot forever? So maybe one day they get it, but we still going, and it's still fun, and we're still doing what we do. And Game 6 Klay is still Game 6 Klay. Game 6 Klay last time playing in the playoffs before this year was Game 6. and he was cooking Toronto Raptors. Game 6, Klay showed up again. And, I think one of the beautiful things about Game 6, Klay, is like that obviously became this narrative and like this thing of people saying, Klay really believes that now. Like in his head, he like, of course, it's Game 6. Like, of course I'm going to do this. Are you crazy? And like he approaches the game like that, and it's one of the most incredible things to watch. It shows you how powerful the mind is. Like for those out there that just doesn't understand how powerful your thoughts are, how powerful your beliefs are, the mind is a very powerful thing. And he believes like Game 6 Klay is a real thing. And guess what? If Killer Klay believe it, I believe it. And he continues to show it. And so that was absolutely incredible. I thought one of the big things that I really took away from that game and how hard it really was is Steph finished the game with 29. Klay finished the game with 30. Wiggins finished the game with 18 and 11. I finished the game with 14, 15, and 8 assists. Looney finished the game with 22 rebounds. We did not pull away from that team until the 4 or 5 minute mark of the fourth quarter. We needed all of that. We needed everybody to play well. That's how tough that young team were. They were really tough. And you have to, like I said before, you have to give them their credit. But we definitely put it all together, and it was great to see all of us have a good game and needed all play well at the same time in order to move forward. I have to, once again, I'm not just going to breeze over this like this isn't a big deal. Kevon Looney was absolutely amazing. Steph and I had been pushing for him to start. And, the reason we were is just like, it may not have looked like that or felt like that on the bench as a coach, but on the court, it felt like we were getting dominated. Like if you're out there, you feel like you're getting dominated. Another reason I really wanted Kevon to start is because I wanted to start on Jaren Jackson from the beginning of the game. And going through the series, they started trying to take advantage of our lack of size on Jaren Jackson. So I would get on him, and I would feel like he's kind of looking at me like fresh meat when I come out there to guard him. But he's already kind of in his rhythm and feeling, the bravado from scoring. And so I wanted to start on him from the beginning of the game. That was a big thing for me starting that game. It's like I need to take him out of the game from the start of the game. First play, what do? Go to Jaren Jackson on the post, come up with the stop. That sets a different tone for our team. And that tone is set by who? I know I got the stop. And most people say, oh, Draymond, you set the tone. That tone is set by simply starting Kevon Looney. That's who set the tone. And he rebounded the basketball, 11 rebounds in the first quarter. I came out the game. When I came out the game in the first quarter, I looked up, I said, man, Loon, and then he got a rebound. I said, yo, Loon got 10 rebounds. They're like, yeah. I'm like, wow, this is impressive. For Kevon Looney to not play much at all in this playoffs, really. He was guarding Joker when I was out, and then, for him to then play a career high in minutes, not playoff minutes, a career high in minutes, have 22 rebounds, save the day, save the season. Got to give a lot of credit to that young man, a guy who been through numerous injuries, plays 82 games this year. Like, whatever happens to Loon this summer, and I hope it's here. He get whatever whatever happens with him, he deserves. Because that's a guy who worked his butt off, fought through injuries, true professional, and he come up on the biggest stage. So shout out to Kevon Looney and what he did for the Dubs and extending our season, because we needed it in a major way.